good children of my class 10th ICSE. Welcome to my channel Study English with Jaishree. I'm here with my students of class 10th ICSE to solve their every problem. My mission is to empower you with a conceptual learning and latest pattern of your exam. So, I hope you all are seeing my also videos of Merchant of Venice, where all explanations are in a very easy language, and for the first time you will get a bank of question paper in the form of your exam pattern. You just have to install Microsoft Forms there and solve the question paper. I am suggesting you that after seeing the videos, beneficially solve the paper and get your score then and there. Now, no need to join any coaching for your exam preparation. Isn't it amazing? You are getting free of cost all the questions in my videos. Okay, so I'm going to start a poem, Why Do Cage Birds Sing, which is written by Maya Angelou. Now let me tell you the central idea of the poem. This poem is about a comparison between a free bird and a caged bird. A free bird which is free from every boundation. It can fly here and there in the sky. The sky has no limits for her. It can get every type of experiences where it does want to go, where it can enjoy the fly, the simple fly. But a caged bird who is confined to a small cage, whose wings are cut because it cannot fly. So here the Maya Angelou, who was an American African poet who was black, she in herself, when she was a child, she has faced this racism. Means there is always a gap between the blacks and white. The black community were suppressed by the white community. So she herself had faced this thing, and by this help of this poem, she had described that how a caged bird is experienced, how she feels when she can express her feelings only by her voice, only by singing. And that singing is not her, she is not singing a song, she is screaming out of pain, and that pain is expressed by the poet here. Before starting the poem, I am giving you a short description or short explanation. Now I am giving you a short description about the poet. When Maya Angelou was 3 years old and her brother 4, their parents got separated. Means in her childhood, she has experienced the separation of her parents, that they were divorced. And her father sent them to Arkansas. This is a place to live with her grandparents. She lost her voice at the age of 8 due to some bad experience she met in her childhood. And later she became an American poet, a storyteller, an activist, and an autobiographer. She has written 8 autobiographies in her lifetime. Now this poem, this is Why Do Cage Birds Sing, is one of her most famous poem, and the poem has 38 lines divided in 6 stanzas. This is written in free verse. There is not a particular rhyming scheme. That is called, when you are not having a particular rhyming scheme like in your other poems, there is A, B, B or A, B, C. Here it is written in free verse. Okay, so now before starting the poem explanation, I would like to give you a brief summary so that it will be much easier for you to understand the whole poem. The poem describes the comparison of lives of a free bird and a caged bird. The first stanza, there is a free bird who is fearlessly soaring with the winds throughout the sky. It is sunset, the orange rays, it can enjoy everything, the sun color and the sky in beautiful shades. Now in the second and third stanza, there is a comparison. In the second stanza, you will get the comparison of a free bird with a bird who is caged. So what it feels to be free. The second and third stanza shows a caged bird whose wings are clipped and feet tied, preventing him from flying away. The bird can seldom see through the bars of rage, and that is the reason of her angriness. It became so angry. He longs to be free out of its sorrowful life in the cage. He is helpless, so it can only open its mouth. Now in the fourth stanza, again takes us the life of the free bird, how it enjoys the breeze, how it enjoys the current of the air, how it can get the worms which it wants to eat. It has plenty of food. And again, in the next stanza, there is a comparison that the bird which is caged, it is frightened. It is frightened to see the dreams because its dreams are not fulfilled. Their dreams also become nightmares. So in all the stanzas, you will see the comparison between the free bird and the caged bird. And the last stanza is the repetition of the third stanza, which gives emphasis on the poet's thought. Now this poem, Why Do Caged Birds Sings? This is one of our most famous poem, and the poem has 38 lines, which is divided in 6 stanzas. This is not written in a particular format. This is written in a free verse, means there is not a particular rhyming scheme. Okay, till now it is clear. Now discuss the line by line of the poem. The first stanza. The free bird sleeps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends. So the opening line shows a bird leaping on the back of the wind. That tells about the freedom it experiences to move and glide freely through the air. It hovers over a stream of winds and floats downwards where the current of a stream ends. Current of what? Currents of winds or breeze. So it can fly over the current of breeze till it becomes calm. It dips its wing in orange sun rays. It is utterly free and without any restriction, it dares to claim the sky. Means it can move anywhere, wherever it wish. It means that the sky is home for it. The whole is sky. The whole universe is home for it. It can move anywhere. Sky has no limit. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it beautiful that the whole world is free for you? You are wishing to go anywhere and you can move. This is the most demanding and most precious thing in anyone's life, that is the freedom. Now come to the second stanza of the poem. But a bird that stalks is watched through. Down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. So here in this stanza, the poet contrasts the situation of a caged bird with a free bird. Who are free birds? They are the white Americans, are free birds, because this poem is symbolic poem. This is an extended metaphor where the free birds are white Americans and they are free. And African Americans who are black, they are caged bird. As Maya Angelou, she was an African American and she herself had faced the problem of racism. Many a times she has faced this problem, and so the poem is a symbolic. Now here the caged bird refers to Maya Angelou, and this refers to a whole race of black Americans. Okay. Now you can compare them. The caged bird stalks is watched through the narrow cage. Narrow cage is the place where she is confined. Because it is bound to that cage, it is not allowed to go outside that cage. Their movements are restricted by the white Americans. So the black Americans, their movements are restricted by white Americans. Can seldom see through his bars of rage. So it is restricted. A caged bird is confined to one place. It has no freedom to go outside. It rarely, seldom means rarely. So it rarely allows to go outside the cage, and this makes him angry. His bars of rage shows her anger. Because what happened if you are restricted to one place? If suppose you are going, suppose how your feelings will be if you are restricted to a one room only. Maybe there are all the things of pleasure are there. Maybe you are having mobile phones, you are having laptops, but still you know that I have a door where whenever I want to go outside, I can go. But suppose there is no door in that room. All over there are walls, just like a jail. And everything is given to you then and there in that place. You are not allowed to move as you wish. So what will be the condition of your inside? How you will feel from inside? Obviously you will feel anger, so much of anger that you just want to break the walls and go anywhere you want. These things will not matter for you. Whatever the good things, whatever the excellent things you are having at that time, when you are caged, when you are confined to one place, that doesn't matter for you. You don't want to enjoy those blissfulness there, because freedom is much required. So in the same way, the poet wants to express the feelings of caged bird, and in that case of the black Americans' feelings, how they feel when they are restricted and confined by the white Americans. So in these lines, can seldom she through his bars of rage, means they are not allowed, they rarely see out of the bars of rage their anger. It enhances their anger. It describes to escape its plight. Plight is the pain. But the caged bird cannot see beyond his cage, because they are restricted, so they cannot see beyond the cage. His wings are clipped and feet are tied. Not only they are caged inside the small narrow cage, but what happened? Their wings are also clipped and feet are tied, and their feet are tied into that. So their freedom is taken away. Not only taken away, that is being forcibly taken away by them. So he is not only bound to one place, but his freedom is forcibly taken away, and its feet is tied also. It cannot fly even if it desires to fly. What else is left with him? Only its voice. His feet are tied, so he opens his voice, because at that time when you are confined, when you are bound by the restriction, what you can do? You have your voice only, which can be heard by others, and that is your only tool which you can use to express your pain, so that the others can listen that pain, and at least you can get some solace, some peace of mind. So here the poet wants to say that even though the African Americans are deprived of freedom, they are enslaved by white Americans, still they have their own voice, which they can use to show their pain. Now come to the third stanza. The caged birds sing with a fearful trill of the things unknown but longed for still. Now see how beautifully she has explained these lines. The caged bird sings with fearful trill. Fearful trill is the voice of the birds, that is a chirping voice. So the caged bird, when they start singing, how it is? It is filled with fear. Their voice is also filled with fear. Of what? What is the fear? Of the things unknown, but longed for still, because they are confined to one place, so they don't know what is outside there in the cage. Now just imagine that you have a pet animal like a dog, and if you want to leave that dog on the street, you will see that it will not go far away from you. Why? Because its mind is confined to one place. It has no freedom of their movement. They cannot go anywhere. They cannot explore the world just like the street dogs. They will not fear. They can go anywhere because they are used to of that. They have, but your dog, which is confined to your home only, it will get fear of mind to go outside the world. So what happened? It is losing its confidence. So this happens with every person. If they are confined to one place, if they are not having their freedom, when you will let them free, they will not become free, because their mind is stuck there and they have lost their confidence. So the same pain here the poet describes about the black Americans, that they are confined to one place from such a long time. The white Americans, they behave like a racism. They are doing racism with them. That is why they feel, if still they have their voice to express their feelings, but their voice is full of fear. Now the things unknown but longed for still, because they want to go outside the world from such a long time. Their heart desires for them. Longing means you are desiring something very painfully, but you are not getting that. So on the distant hill, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, and the voice, when the voice of such people can be heard from all over the world. Just like the bird who is caged, their voice, because they scream out of fear, that is not a song, that is a song of their pain, and that pain can be heard by the distant hill, the people who are very far away at the distant places. For the caged bird sings of freedom. Why? Because the caged bird are singing for their freedom. So that is not their song. The birds which are free, when they chirp, that is the song. They are singing, enjoying and everything. They are just out of enjoyment, just out of happiness they are singing. But the birds which are caged inside, they are not singing. When their voice is a voice of their pain, they are singing for their freedom. So that becomes a scream of their pain, scream of their inside. Okay, understood? Now come to fourth stanza. Now here again the poet has come about the free birds, means about the white Americans. Now the free birds think of another breeze. Now see how selfish they are, that they have the freedom, they can move anywhere, they are privileged ones, but still what they want another breeze. It happens with the human beings also, that whatever you have, you want to get more. So similarly, they are free, they are privileged, they are having everything, but they want more and more. So the free bird thinks of another breeze. And the trade winds soft through the shining trees. And the trade winds, the winds which are coming from outside, those winds are soft for them. Why soft for them? Because they are enjoying their life, they are free, their mind is free, they can move anywhere they wish. And the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn. And who is waiting for them? The fat worms, because that is their food. So the fat worms are waiting on a dawn bright lawn. Dawn, that is the time of a sunset. Bright lawn, the place where you can see the worms. So the free birds, because it seems that everything is waiting for them, they are so privileged that they can do anything, they can enjoy the life, they can sing, they can fly wherever they want, they can fly all over the sky, they can enjoy the breeze, they can enjoy the food, whatever they want to eat. So everything is privileged for them. Similarly, what happened, she is comparing her life, the black Americans' life with the white Americans, because the white Americans are free just because of their skin color. They feel themselves privileged, that they are the superior race, and the black Americans, just because of their skin color, they are black, they are inferior with them. So they are confined to one place, they are not free. Now see, and he names the sky of his own, and they are so free that they can even give the sky their name. That means they can enjoy the freedom. That is their victory. They feel that they are victorious. Okay, so the free bird thinks of the fat worm that will be his food, with the wind in his feathers, water and earth beneath him, and the whole sky with him. He feels majestic in his freedom and calls the entire sky his own domain, that everything is mine. By names the sky his own, the poet wishes to express that the bird knows himself to be the proprietor of this whole universe, as if he is the whole proprietor. He is having the control over everything. So here the sky stands for the universe. There is a image of a sky which stands for universe. So the white Americans are having proprietor. Proprietor means the person who is having right over these things. So the white Americans, they have the right on this universe, as if they have made this universe and that universe belongs to them. Okay, now come to the fifth stanza. The comparison with a caged bird. You have seen till now how the white Americans or the free birds are there. Now just see the comparison with a caged bird. What is their pain? But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. Okay, so the caged bird known that he is not flying in the sky. He is not free but captive. It's a prisoner. So he thus stands on the grave of dreams. Grave is what? Grave is the graveyard where the dead bodies are kept. So it's all the dreams are in the grave because they are dead. There is no meaning of their dream. They are not there to see the dreams also. Okay, not there means they don't have that much of freedom that they can see the dream as they want to do in their lives. They are deprived of all these privileges. So he knows his dreams of flying in a free firmament. What is their dream? What is the dream of the caged bird? That it wants to fly in a free world. So to experience freedom is futile. That is of no use for it. That is waste because it will not get permission from the world. So he had lost all hope of freedom. His shadow shouts off on a nightmare scream. Now what does it mean? His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream that it is more pitiable, more adverse than a nightmare. What is nightmare? Nightmare is a bad dream which anybody doesn't want to see. Suppose one night you were sleeping and you have seen some ghost in your dreams and you just wake up by scaring. You just scare to your mother, you just scream to your mother that what I have seen, and all the day your mind is disturbed. So that is called a nightmare. You don't wish to see that nightmare again and again. We want to see the dreams that is beautiful, that makes us pleasurable, that makes us happy, but we don't want to see the nightmares which makes us unhappy, which gives us fear. So in the same line, the poet wants to say that it is more pitiable, more adverse than a nightmare. His wings are clipped and feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. So his wings are clipped. This is the same lines which you have seen there in the stanza 3. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. Because why it is seeing nightmare? Because it is not there to see the dreams. Because its dreams has become graveyard. They are not fulfilled at all, and it is not there to see the dreams of her own. So what happens? It is only having its voice which she can use. So the bird wishes to travel against the adversities. So there is a faint but kindling voice of hope of this song. There is only a little hope which is left with her, that is her song. Because this is the only thing which is the bird having when it is confined to a cage, that is the voice. Now the sixth stanza, and that is sixth stanza is the repetition of third stanza. Now why the poem has did this, the repetition? Because it emphasizes its thought. It just want to tell the readers, tell the world that how painful it is. Just understand the pain. So to show that it emphasizes in the sixth stanza, that is the repetition. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. So this type of repeating of a stanza is called refrain. This is a figure of speech, that is refrain. So refrain is a stanza that justifies the bird's determination to keep going after his dream of freedom. The caged bird chooses to sing as this is the only freedom available to him, that he can enjoy without any restriction. Because his wings are clipped, his feet are tied, but his throat is not choked yet. This is something the poet have felt at heart, that why she uses the title, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Now you can say why why the poet has written this poem, just to give her pain a voice which can be heard by the world. So in a way, she became the voice of the black Americans, and she fight against the racism which she had experienced throughout her life, in her childhood, that she was many a times restricted just because she was black. So this pain she wants to express through her voice. That is the bird's voice, which is in a cage, which is confined in a cage. Now come to the figure of speech of this poem. The first figure of speech is used here, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, just like I sound in distant hills and sings with fearful hills. In these lines, you will see that I is continuously repeating in all the words. The next figure of speech is consonants. Consonants is repetition sound produced by consonant words like B. You see the lines, but a bird that stalks down. So here you are seeing that B is repeating 2 times in the sentence. Now, next is imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is creating an image in front of you, just like a picture. You are seeing a movie. So here the words like free bird, orange sun rays, throat to sing, these words are used as imagery to give a good impact in the poem. Okay, clear? Now, fourth figure of speech is personification. As you know that what is personification? It is when the inanimate objects are taken as human beings. The first sentence is sighing trees, as trees are feeling sorrow. So just like human beings have emotions, they feel sorrow. In the same way, trees are also sorrowful. For birds, his is used in place of its. You know that for animals we use its, and for human beings we use his. But here the poet has used his in place of its. That is a personification. Next is symbol. This is a symbolic poem. As you know that the cage birds are the symbol of black Americans and free birds are the symbol of white Americans. So in this way, this is a symbolic poem. Now, next figure of speech is metaphor. What is metaphor? Metaphor is the indirect comparison of two things directly when we give the comparison. The first is downstream and current is used for wind, just like water. Like in the water, there is downstream and current. So the same thing is used for winds. Next is free bird belongs to privileged caste of society, and caged birds are deprived caste of society. So what are free birds? Free birds, they are having all the things, all the beauty of nature. They are free to move anywhere. So they are the privileged. They are the privileged caste of the society, just like the white Americans. Similarly, the cage birds, they are deprived caste. What is deprived caste? The caste which is not having the things of the society. They are bound in the society. They are not free in the society, just like the black Americans. As the white Americans feel themselves superior race, so they do not give so much of rights to the black Americans. Now, next is use of contrast words. What are contrast words? They are just the contrasting things like fearful trill, dawn bright, nightmare scream. These are all the words which contrast with each other. Next is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a repetition of consonant sound words. Like in the sentence you are seeing but a bird. Here B is repeating 2 times. Seldom see, S is repeated. Worms waiting, here W is repeated, and in shadow shouts, here S is repeated. So these are the examples of alliteration. Now, I hope I have discussed each and every point very clearly with you. The lines are very clear, and I have discussed the figure of speeches also. Now, if you have any question regarding this, you can ask me in the comment section. Also, don't forget. So children, do like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my educational videos. You can ask me the questions in the comment section regarding this poem. I will surely solve your doubts.